After this, David struck the Philistines and subdued them. David took the bridle of the mother city out of the hands of the Philistines. He defeated Moab and measured them with the line, making them to lie down on the ground. And he measured 2 lines to put to death, and 1 full line to keep alive. The Moabites became servants to David and brought tribute. David also struck Hadakezzer, the son of Rehob, the king of Zobah, as he went to recover his dominion at the river. David took from him 1,700 horsemen, 20,000 footmen. David hamstrung the chariots' horses, but reserved enough of them for 100 chariots. When the Syrians of Damascus came to help Hadadezer, the king of Zoab, David struck 22,000 men of the Assyrians. Then David put garrisons in Syria of Damascus, and the Syrians became servants to David and brought tribute. Yahweh gave victory to David wherever he went. David took the shields of gold that were on the servants of Hadadezer, and brought them to Jerusalem. From Betah and Berotai, cities of Hadadezer, King David took a great quantity of bronze. When Toi, king of Hamath, heard that David had struck all the armies of Hadadezer, then Toi sent Joram his son to King David to greet him and to bless him because he had fought against Hadadezer and struck him, for Hadadezer had war with Toi. Joram brought with him vessels of silver, vessels of gold, and vessels of bronze. King David also dedicated these to Yahweh with the silver and gold that he dedicated of all the nations which he subdued, of Syria, of Moab, of the children of Ammon, of the Philistines, of Amalek, and of the plunder of Hadadezer, son of Rehob, king of Zobah. David earned a reputation when he returned from striking down 18,000 men of the Syrians in the valley of Salt. He put garrisons in Edom. Throughout all Edom he put garrisons, and all the Edomites became servants to David. Yahweh gave great victory to David wherever he went. David reigned all over Israel, and David executed justice and righteousness for all his people. Joab the son of Zeruiah was all over the army. Jehoshaphat the son of Elihud was recorder. Zadok the son of Ahitub and Abimelech the son of Abithaar were priests. Sarai was scribe. Benaiah the son of Jehoiada was over the Cherethites and the Pelethites, and David's sons were chief ministers. David said, "Is there yet any who is left of Saul's house, that I may show him kindness for Jonathan's sake?" There was of Saul's house a servant whose name was Ziba, and they called him to David. And the king said to him, "Are you Ziba?" He said, "I am your servant." The king said, "Is there not yet one of Saul's house, that I may show him the kindness of God?" Ziba said to the king, "Jonathan still has a son who is lame in his feet." The king said to him, "Where is he?" Ziba said to the king, "Behold, he is in the house of Machir the son of Ammiel in Lo-debar." Then King David sent and brought him out of the house of Machir the son of Ammiel from Lo-debar. Mephibosheth the son of Jonathan the son of Saul came to David, fell on his face, and showed respect. David said, "Mephibosheth?" He answered, "Behold, your servant." David said to him, "Don't be afraid, for I will surely show you kindness for Jonathan your father's sake, and will restore you to all the land of Saul your father. You will eat bread at my table continually." He bowed down and said, "What is your servant that you should look at such a dead dog as I am?" The king said to Ziba, Saul's servant, and said to him, "All that belongs to Saul and to all his house I have given to your master's son. Till the land for him, you, your sons, and your servants. Bring in the harvest, that your mother's son may have bread to eat. But Mephibosheth, your master's son, will always eat bread at my table." Now Ziba had 15 sons and 20 servants. Then Ziba said to the king, "According to all my lord the king commands his servant, so your servant will do." So Mephibosheth ate at the king's table like one of the king's sons. Mephibosheth had a son whose name was Micah. All who lived in Ziba's house were servants to Mephibosheth. So Mephibosheth lived in Jerusalem, for he ate continually at the king's table. He was lame in both his feet. After this, David defeated the Philistines and subdued them, and took Gath and its towns out of the hand of the Philistines. He defeated Moab, and the Moabites became servants to David and brought tribute. David defeated Hadadezer, king of Zoar, towards Hamath, as he went to establish his dominion by the river Euphrates. David took from him 1,000 chariots, 7,000 horsemen, and 20,000 footmen, and David hamstrung all the chariots' horses, but he reserved enough of them for 100 chariots. When the Syrians of Damascus came to help out Hadadezer, king of Zohab, David struck 22,000 men of the Syrians. Then David put garrisons in Syria of Damascus, and the Syrians became servants to David, and brought tribute. Yahweh gave victory to David wherever he went. David took the shields of gold that were on the servants of Hadadezer, and brought them to Jerusalem. From Tibhath and from Kun, cities of Hadadezer, David took very much bronze, with which Solomon made the bronze sea, the pillars, and the vessels of bronze. When Tau, king of Hamath, heard that David had struck down all the army of Hadadezer, king of Zohab, he sent Hadaram his son to King David to greet him and to bless him, because he had fought against Hadadezer and struck him, for Hadadezer had had wars with Tau. And he had with him all kinds of vessels of gold and silver and bronze. King David also dedicated these to Yahweh with the silver and the gold that he carried away from all the nations, from Edom, from Moab, from the children of Ammon, from the Philistines, and from Amalek. Moreover, Abishai, the son of Zeruiah, struck 18,000 from the Edomites in the valley of Salt. He put garrisons in Edom, and all the Edomites became servants to David. Yahweh gave victory to David wherever he went. David reigned over all Israel, and he executed justice and righteousness for all his people. Joab, the son of Zeruiah, was over the army. Jehoshaphat, the son of Ehilud, was recorder. Zadok, the son of Ahitub, and Abimelech, the son of Abiathar, were priests. Shavsha was scribe, and Benaiah, the son of Jehoiada, was over the Cherethites and the Pelethites, and the sons of David were chief officials serving the king.